318 people have clicked one of my affiliate links in the last 90 days. 0 of them have bought anything. If you've been told affiliate marketing means passive income rolling in while you sleep, that number should bother you. It bothered me too, until I understood why it's actually normal and what it does and doesn't tell you about whether this is working. Every beginner affiliate marketing guide follows roughly the same structure. Pick a niche, join a program, share your link, watch the commissions come in. It's presented as a straightforward pipeline, and it leaves out almost everything that actually determines whether it works: the timeline, the tracking, the trust building, and the long stretch of nothing that comes before anything at all. This video is the version nobody tells beginners, using my actual numbers, my actual dashboards, and the actual mistakes I've made getting this wrong, screenshots included, nothing rounded up or dressed up to look better than it is. Here's my 11 Labs affiliate dashboard exactly as it looks today. 318 clicks in the last 90 days, 0 signups, 0 paid signups, a conversion rate of 0%, $0 in revenue, $0 in commissions. On paper, that looks like failure. It isn't. And understanding why is the first thing nobody tells beginners. A click is not a customer. A click is someone who was curious enough to tap a link on a device at a specific moment, often while doing something else entirely. Most of those people were never going to buy that day. Some were researching for later, some were comparing options, some clicked by accident. The click number tells you people are paying attention to your content, nothing more. The commission structure on this specific program is 22% on every customer transaction for the first 12 months of that customer's lifetime, or 11% on business tier customers. That's a genuinely strong offer. On paper, one converted customer on this program could be worth more over a year than a dozen smaller one-off sales elsewhere. But a strong offer on a link nobody's converted yet is still $0, and beginners who don't understand that gap tend to conclude the whole model is broken long before it's had a real chance to work. Nobody tells beginners how long the runway actually is. Affiliate conversions depend on trust, and trust takes time to build with an audience that's still small. A channel with 11 subscribers and a channel with 100,000 subscribers can post the exact same recommendation, and one converts while the other doesn't. Not because the content is worse, but because the audience hasn't had enough time or enough touch points to trust the recommendation yet. There's also a delay most people don't account for. Someone might click a link today, get distracted, and not come back to sign up for weeks, if the cookie window and attribution even survive that long. A lot of beginner guides talk about affiliate marketing in terms of a single click leading directly to a single sale, as if it happens in one tidy transaction. In practice, the path is usually longer, messier, and spread across more than one visit, which means the real timeline to a first commission is almost always longer than beginners are told to expect, which brings up the second thing nobody tells beginners. Here's my InVideo AI affiliate dashboard for comparison. 41 clicks recorded through this specific link over the same general period. 0 actions, 0 earnings. But the real number of people who clicked through to InVideo is higher than 41 because this particular program routes through a redirect domain that ad blockers commonly flag and block. Some portion of clicks never get recorded at all. The visitor still lands on the site. The click just doesn't get attributed back to me. This is something almost nobody explains to beginners. Your dashboard numbers are not the full picture. They're the portion of activity that successfully survived tracking, cookies, ad blockers, and attribution windows, all of which can silently lose a meaningful percentage of real activity. Before assuming a program isn't working, it's worth checking whether the tracking itself has known issues, because sometimes the honest answer is that the numbers are undercounting reality, not describing it accurately. So, what does a realistic timeline actually look like instead of the vague promise of passive income eventually? For most creators starting from zero, the first few months are almost entirely about building an audience large enough for clicks to happen at any meaningful volume at all. Before an audience exists, there's nobody to click the link in the first place. So the earliest stage isn't really an affiliate marketing problem, it's an audience building problem wearing an affiliate marketing costume. Once clicks start showing up consistently, the next stretch is usually a run of 0 conversions, sometimes a long one. That's the stage this channel is in right now, and it can genuinely last months before the first sale lands, especially for a program with recurring value products like software subscriptions, where the buying decision tends to be more considered than an impulse purchase. The first conversion, when it happens, is often disproportionately meaningful. Not for the commission itself, but because it's proof the entire mechanism works end to end. The content, the trust, the link, the tracking, the checkout. After that first one, the gap to the second is typically shorter because the pattern that produced it is now identifiable and repeatable rather than theoretical. None of this means sit back and wait. A few things genuinely do move affiliate income forward, and they're less exciting than most guides make them sound. Consistency compounds. Every piece of content is a small, permanent asset that keeps generating clicks long after it's published, which is why total click volume tends to climb steadily even while conversions stay flat for a while. That click graph on the ElevenLabs dashboard isn't flat, it's trending upward even with 0 sales attached to it yet. That upward trend is the actual leading indicator worth watching, not the conversion count. Recommending tools you genuinely use rather than whatever pays the highest commission builds the kind of trust that eventually does convert. Audiences can tell the difference even if they can't articulate why. It's slower than chasing whichever program pays the biggest payout, but it's also the only version of this that holds up once an audience is large enough to actually notice inconsistency. Diversifying which programs and which links are in front of an audience also matters more than it sounds like it should. A single link with hundreds of clicks and 0 conversions could simply mean the offer isn't right for that audience at that moment, not that the entire strategy has failed. Running more than one affiliate relationship at once means a cold month on one program doesn't read as a verdict on the whole approach. And tracking your real numbers, including the uncomfortable zeros, tells you far more than chasing a projected income figure from a course or a YouTube thumbnail promising 4 figures a month. The honest baseline is a better decision-making tool than an aspirational one because it's the only number that's actually true right now. And every decision made from a fictional number is a decision made on bad information. Affiliate marketing income is real, but it's slower, messier, and more dependent on audience trust and tracking accuracy than most beginner content admits. 318 clicks and 0 conversions isn't a verdict on whether this works. It's one data point on a timeline that's still early. If you're starting out, expect this stage. Track your real numbers, understand what your dashboard isn't showing you, and give it the time it actually needs before deciding whether it's working. The beginners who quit in month 2 aren't wrong that nothing's happened yet, they're just measuring on the wrong timeline, using a definition of success borrowed from a course sales page rather than from how this actually plays out in practice. The honest version of this isn't as exciting as a screenshot of a commission dashboard full of green numbers, but it's the version that's actually true, and it's the only version worth building a real strategy around. If this was useful, subscribe. I post the honest version of this journey every week, numbers included. I'll see you in the next one.